Hi, this is Strather, and I thank you for joining me as we talk about the best strategies to acquire real estate in times like these. I'm going to get rid of my picture right here, and we're going to get started. First, I'd like to tell you a little bit about myself. I've been a real estate entrepreneur for more than 40 years in Detroit, and I've closed a couple billion in real estate transactions, and I've taught more than 2,000 people how to do it, and I've created more than 60 millionaires. Now, I believe that challenging times are blessings in disguise. For example, I was poor, I stuttered, I had a C average on a good day. An Optimist Club came along and saved my life. I entered an oratorical contest and I won it. It helped me with my stuttering. Being poor created a burning desire for wealth and giving back. I had to learn how to leverage deals without cash because the facts of the matter is that I had no cash. As a result of my background, I've built 150 Optimist Clubs around the world, giving back, and I've awarded 3,000 scholarships to youth. And I've also closed 75% of the apartment units in Northwest Detroit. So I want you to buckle up. And as I share with you how to best acquire real estate in times like these. So today, this is what you're going to learn. You're going to learn the best approach to buy the real estate in times like these. You're going to look at a 2020 case study on closing without cash, one of my last transactions. And you're going to buy income property without cash, credit, or collateral. We're going to discuss once again how you can buy income property without cash, credit, or collateral. So let's get started. These are the worst of times and the best of times to buy income property, and here are 5 reasons why. Number one, many people are unable to pay normal rent today. Times are even more challenging for people with special needs. Some market values have depreciated. Government-backed lenders now, they're motivated to lend, especially in special needs situations, whereas many private lenders are hesitant. 30% of the market have hard money lenders just completely dropped out. But the government lenders, they're motivated and they're ready to lend money. And these times have created historically low interest rates. Now that's pretty interesting because the rates dropped when the Fed fund rate dropped, and many of the private lenders edged it back up because of the security risk. But federal funding is still very low. Now, these times create 2 different kinds of people. The question is, what category do you fit in? Now, those that fear these uncertain times, and I got a little acronym here for fear, false evidence appearing real. Now you say, Herb, wait a minute, time out. Is this not a real situation we see? What I'm suggesting to you is that for every negative situation, there's a seed of equivalent benefit. And whereas these are challenging times, also opportunities have opened up. You're sitting home, most of you, and you're retooling yourself. This gives us an opportunity to retool ourselves and be the best that we could be. So those who believe they will succeed, realize their greatest opportunities are before them, and act now is that other category. And I hope that you're in the second category. Did you know that you can get everything you want out of life if you're willing to help others get what they want? Now, you can, for example, acquire high income producing real estate for special needs without putting any cash down if you know how to structure the transaction. Buying at a 15 to 20% return and financing at 3 to 5% can create a great cash flow, obviously. Plus, investing in special needs will make you feel great. And you know what? It'll give you a good chance to get into heaven. How about that? The double bottom line is to help those with special needs and help thyself as well. So how do you go about this? First, what does your soul identify with? What is it that you would like to do? Foster care aging out program. In the state of Michigan, there are 700 children a year that are lost, either drugs, homelessness, uh, jail, or dead, every single year that they age out. Now, the state allows you to uh, become independent, these foster care kids at the age of 17, or they can opt to stay as a ward with the state until they're 22 or 23 years old. We have got to take and create an opportunity for these children. And the state have a tremendous budget right now that they haven't even spent. We could help our kids and certainly help ourselves. How about the ex-felons, the housing and opportunities? They're getting out of incarceration. Many of them may have an opportunity to stay out, and I would think most of them. Um, the state very much need housing for them and opportunities. How about veteran care and development? These veterans that have sacrificed their life for our country, have died, and those who are disabled right now, there's a substantial fund to help them. How about the homeless and mentally challenged? Governments all over the United States are paying particular attention to this situation right now and trying to get them off the streets. The COVID disaster is just really just causing tremendous havoc in their lives. Now, if you don't want to really get all into a very active situation, how about just conventional housing for retirees? People who are retired, they're not worried about income right now because their income have not really been impacted. So, and very seldom you have to put an elderly person out for non-payment of rent. Let's look at Section 8 affordable housing. Many of you are very familiar with it. These are low-income families that rents are subsidized. You have the chance to take and provide the housing for them and to have a very secured rental collection opportunity. So now first you got to determine what your role is if you want to get involved in helping others. What are you going to do? Most of you listening to me are in the real estate business, so it's a question of you being a landlord. I think that's probably prime and center. Also, some of you may want to be a service provider, and some of you probably are a service provider. Or you could be an enabler, either one of those. But if you cannot, if you don't want to be a service provider, you can also joint venture and find others who would like to do this and help them get there. Determine what you need to put the puzzle together. There's funding agencies, public and private. There's service providers. There's partnerships, investors, financiers. What do you have missing? What do you need? Now, you'd also need the right real estate for the opportunity. There's no question about that. So Strather Academy requires students to learn by experience. You got to find the deal, fund it. You got to either find, fund, finance, fix, or flip a real estate deal. Find, fund, finance, fix, or flip. In other words, you are expected to participate in order to close the deal. You are expected to make money and close a deal in order to graduate. So let's take a look at some of the case studies I told you we'll look at. This was a deal we closed within the last 12 months. And look how the students each participated. One of the students found the deal. They found it at the sheriff's sale. That's a great place to blitz. And that's blitzing is what I call going finding properties because they sell for a fraction of the mortgage. And that's important. Many lenders get reimbursed for their losses, provided they do not go after the homeowners. In other words, they're restricted from going after homeowners that have deficiencies. In exchange, they get reimbursed 97%. That's not so bad. Now that's student A, they found the deal. Student B put the offer in and controlled the deal with an earnest money deposit. They wasn't really interested in going all the way, but they participated, put the earnest money deposit up, tied the deal up, and student C bought the deal. These are 3 different students all participating and all earning money in the transaction. The deal was acquired from Chemical Bank, and there was a closing date set. And there was a little difficulties meeting that closing date, so we got a transactional lender to come in and close the transaction. And they also participated. It wasn't a lot of funding, but the deal was already approved and we needed to close that day. Now, then of course, we had to get permanent financing to take the transitional lender out. And when I say permanent financing, I'm saying additional financing. So we got a large private money lender to put the money up for a year to be extended by 1 year. That year is almost up, it's about 9 months ago. And so we're now negotiating with a local community development financial institution. There are 6 of them in Detroit, and they are involved in community redevelopment. And you know, the COVID crisis opportunity have provided billions of dollars for them all over the country. These are Fed funds that have been given to them for community development. So they have the cash to lend, whereas you have lenders, traditional lenders, as I said, that are backing off. Then also you got PACE, Property Access Clean Energy. They're in about 26 states in the United States, and Michigan is one of them. And they will loan for energy-related projects like roofs, windows, HVAC, electrical, even drainage. They'll even loan for elevators because you can get high efficient elevators. And you can get reimbursed for work that you've already completed. So this project is being refinanced now by a local CDFI lender and PACE, and we're going to take out the large money, the large private money lender. It was fixed by a local contractor, and essentially flipping is not applicable right now. The student who bought the deal planned to keep the property. Now, what is interesting is the tenancy. The tenancy is a disabled female veteran program. They expect to have 8 to 10 females there that they would expect to retool, and it's located in a great place right across the street that can help with the retooling. It's Durfee Center, and they have 31 agencies there. And this is very exciting because this is on Calvert Street, and Strather Academy is facilitating the redevelopment of Calvert from Linwood to John Lodge, and you're invited to join us as we acquire and renovate all 26 properties, and 4 of them are already under construction right now, and there's quite a few more. But you want to be able to do it the right way, so we ask you to join us and find out the very, very best way to do that. Let's keep rolling. So here are a few other ways you can buy real estate without putting up cash. You could join an LLC and just go to the bank as an owner and refinance. You can structure a compliant purchase agreement with seller, and the closing costs and improvement credits are all included. And I'm going to give you a case study on that in a very few minutes. You can acquire using a bargain gift sale, 501c3. Together with a 501c3, you can joint venture and purchase property. Now, if you are going to form a 501c3 yourself, you have to be very, very cautious. It's not a good idea to do business with yourself, but to joint venture with 501c3s, or to cause one to be created that you may have influence over, but you're not on the board itself. You could joint venture with a private lender and borrow 65% of the after repair value. That's what we did on Calvert. So let's look at this case study. Okay, now this was a house on Leslie Street. The sales price before and after. So I just want to kind of keep this really simple because this is not complicated stuff. Kathy came to Strather Academy with an unsigned purchase agreement, and she wanted to acquire the 2-flat under the 203K program for $45,000, plus closing costs and about 30 grand in repairs. So it was somewhere around $80,000. It would have been totaling the total cost, improvements, closing costs, the whole shop. However, her total out of pocket would have been about $7,000 or $8,000, and that's the minimum amount down plus closing costs. As a result of joining SA, she restructured the transaction, and instead of putting $7,000 or $8,000 down, she didn't invest any of her money. She took $19,200 out. Now, here's a copy of the goods. I just kind of copied the check a little bit there. But let's just go over these numbers again so we understand. Her sales price was $45,000 when she walked in. This is what she walked in with. 45. She's going to have about 5,000 in closing costs, repairs around 30, $80,000. At her pocket, let's just say out of pocket, give a number, 7,500. Instead, we came and we made the price 70,000, which included seller agreed improvements, not the repairs, but improvements. Her closing cost was included in the 70. Repairs were still the same. Her total consideration in this case is 100,000. Her out of pocket was about $3,000, and she got a check back for 19,200. So essentially, she had a net of $16,000. Is what she actually had. Now, here's the good news, everybody. The good news is you can join Strather online, and you can do it today. Without leaving your home, you can retool yourself. So, you can attend my live webinar, and which is going to be acquiring income property without using your cash, and it's a $599 value. And here's what you're going to get: you're going to get a step-by-step explanation, on what to do in order to close without using your hard-earned cash. You're going to learn how to close without cash, credit, or collateral, just like the couple of examples that I've just given you. You're going to review case studies on Strather Academy closings. We've had a few closings already this year, and we're going to review and go over those closings. You're going to find out the names and the expectations of the institutions that will finance property right now, and that you could fully finance, provided that the deal is structured properly. And as a bonus, for those of you who act now, you'll get a free pre-approval application for $50,000 to $250,000 credit line. How do you borrow money right now when lenders are backing up? Well, there's a great way to do it. And for those of you who would qualify, and you don't need a whole bunch of money in order to qualify, you do need an acceptable credit score. And if you don't have that credit score, we can help you get there. In addition to that, you're going to get a free copy of my digital book. Now this, as I indicated, this is a $599 value. However, if you join me now, you can join for $139. How's that? $139. Now, if you are a member or associate member of Detroit Association of Realtors, you get an extra $50 off. So your total cost would be less than $70. Just click right here to register. And now, if you'd be interested in joining DAR, if for any reason you're not a member already, our phone number is 313-962-1313. And I can assure you 100% money back guarantee, all of your money back, if you're not satisfied with what you're going to learn from me. I really thank you very, very much. And for those of you who are not live on the presentation, I would ask that you would use the chat box to type in any questions you might have. And I will email the answer back to all of the participants. I thank you so much, and I'm looking forward to helping you to create wealth. This is Herb Strather. Looking forward to seeing you in the class.